What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Oak Tree Football Channel, and welcome to another 2020 college football record prediction and schedule breakdown video. Today, I will be doing the North Carolina Tar Heels. The Tar Heels were pretty good last year. They were just about average. They had quarterback Sam Howell in his freshman season, and he had very, very good numbers, 38 touchdowns and 7 interceptions as a freshman. That is very, very good. And I think there are high hopes for UNC this season, especially getting their whole offensive line back, really important, not losing too much talent, really important. The ACC Coastal is a lot more wide open. For, of course, whoever goes to the ACC Championship game, because Clemson isn't in this division. So I feel like there are a few teams that could win this division, UNC included. Mac Brown is their head coach. He's a very good head coach. He took the team from 2-9 2 seasons ago to, I believe, 7 wins last season, and I think he can keep building on that this season. I think UNC can be very good this season. But with that being said, let's get into looking at their schedule. Yes, they went 7-6 last year, like I said, and they had the 19th best recruiting class in the country, which is very, very good. So, getting into their schedule, week 1, they have a game against UCF on the road. This is going to be a tough one. They have some tough out-of-conference games, and this is one of them. UCF is a very, very good football team. And they will probably put up a fight against North Carolina, especially UCF being at home in this game. It gives UCF a very good shot to win it, and I wouldn't be surprised if UCF won it. I could see this game going to North Carolina as well. I could see it going either way. I think I'm leaning towards UCF, but this is going to be a very fun game to watch because these are two teams that could actually be very good this season, two teams that could be ranked this year. It's going to be a very fun game to watch, and I'm very excited for that one. Week 2, they have another very, very tough game. It's against Auburn. It is in Atlanta, so no one has the real home field advantage. But that still doesn't mean this is not a tough game. Auburn is one of the better teams in college football, especially. They play in the SEC. This is another one of their out-of-conference games. 2 very tough ones to start the season. This is probably North Carolina's hardest game of the season, I would say. There are a few other tough ones, but I would say this is their hardest. And I could see them winning this game, but I think there's a lot better chance that Auburn wins than North Carolina does. Just because Auburn, very good football team. It's 2 freshman quarterbacks going up against each other. They were freshmen last year. Bo Nix and Sam Howell both were freshmen last year, going into their second season in college football. And it's going to be a very interesting matchup. I think it's going to be actually very interesting. I'm very excited for it. I think I might be leaning towards Auburn in this one as well. But it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be close, I think. And I would not be surprised if UNC won, but I would not be surprised if Auburn won either. Week 3, though, this one should be an easy win. No problem for North Carolina. It's against James Madison. Like I said, this should not be a problem whatsoever for North Carolina. They should be able to get an easy win in this game. So at this point in the year, they have at least 1 win. I think they could be at this point they could be 1-2, but they could also be 3-0. I think week 4 they have another easy game. It's against one of the worst teams in the ACC. It's Georgia Tech at home. This should be a pretty easy win as well. It's good that after 2 tough games they get 2 easy ones. Georgia Tech I don't expect to be great this season. Especially this game being at home for North Carolina. I can't see this game being much of a problem. I can see it being more of a problem than the James Madison game, but I don't think it should be much of a problem whatsoever. And I think North Carolina should be able to win this game when it's all said and done. Week 5, they have another tough game, though. It's on the road against Virginia. So Virginia was last year's, they went to the championship game in the ACC last year. They are losing some talent, like their quarterback Bryce Perkins, who went to the LA Rams. They're losing a bit of talent, but I still expect them to be a good team. I don't expect them to be as good as they were last season, but I still expect them to be bowl eligible probably this season. They're going to be an interesting team to watch. This is going to be an interesting game to watch. I feel like on paper these teams are similarly matched up. I feel like their defenses are similar. I just feel like North Carolina's offense is a bit better, and I do think that North Carolina will probably win this game. I'm not saying 100% that they will. Just this game being at home for Virginia, that's going to make it tougher. It's going to be a very fun game to watch. Week 6, they're playing Virginia Tech. So this game is very, very interesting, and I think this game is what's gonna decide the ACC Coastal Division for who goes to the ACC Championship. I think Virginia Tech and North Carolina are the two best teams in the ACC. If you really look at the rosters and just how I expect them to do this season, I think it's Virginia Tech and North Carolina. So this game is very important. This game being at home for North Carolina is so crucial. If this game was at home for Virginia Tech, I would pick Virginia Tech, but because it's at home for North Carolina, I think it might be North Carolina. Honestly, I think Virginia Tech might have the better roster, but I do believe North Carolina has the upper hand in this game. It's going to be such an entertaining game, such an important game. I can't wait for that one. It's going to be an important game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Two very good teams going at it. And I think the winner of that game probably plays Clemson in the ACC Championship. I'm not 100% sure, but that's just what I'm thinking right now. Week 7, they got a road game. It's against Duke. Duke is a team that I expect improvement from. I think right around that 6-6 mark, right around that bowl game mark, I wouldn't be surprised if they're one game under that, though, or even 2 games under. But I don't think Duke is going to be great this year, but I don't think they'll be bad either. So I could see Duke putting up a real challenge for North Carolina, especially Duke being at home. I still think North Carolina will probably win, but I could definitely see Duke putting up a challenge, and it should be a pretty fun game to watch. The ACC actually looks, especially the Coastal Division, there are some good teams in there this season. It's going to be fun to watch. And then Week 8, they have another ACC Coastal matchup. It's against Miami. Miami could be a sneaky team to make the championship game, honestly, because there is definitely talent on that roster. 100% there's talent on that roster. Getting De'Aaron King, very good. I'm just not sure how he'll play because he didn't really play much this season. I could see him being good, though, and I could see Miami being good. This game being in Miami is very important for Miami. I still do think North Carolina probably will win, but I would not be surprised if Miami gets a win in this game. It's going to be close. It's going to be a fun game to watch. A lot of North Carolina's games, very important and fun games to watch. Kind of on a tough 4-game stretch, I would say here. Virginia Tech. Duke is probably the easiest game, and then Miami. Then they have a bye week, and then they have a pretty easy game. It's at home against UConn. I don't see any problem for North Carolina in this game. UConn isn't that great of a football team, and North Carolina is at home. This should be an easy win. Week 11, they have a tough one. It's against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is another team in the ACC Coastal that could actually be competitive this season. And I could see them in the championship game. I'm thinking more of like 8-4 to 7-5, though. I don't really think they'll be on top of everybody else, but I expect them to be competitive this season. And I do think they can be competitive in this game, but this game being at home for North Carolina, I think that seals the deal. Because North Carolina has the better team, and just being at home, I think that should be enough to get them the win. Week 12, they're on the road, but it's against Boston College. Boston College isn't great. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not that good either. They are losing A.J. Dillon to the NFL draft. I think they'll be similar to Duke, kind of a mid-tier team, just around that 6-6 mark. And this should be a win for North Carolina. I could see Boston College maybe putting up a challenge, but I don't see Boston College winning this game whatsoever. And then Week 13, they got NC State at home. This should be an easy win, honestly. At home against... Honestly, NC State is probably going to be one of the worst teams in the ACC this year. This should be an easy win for North Carolina, I think. So now, as I always do, I'll go through each game once again, and I'll say who I believe will win and who I believe will lose. Week 1 at UCF, I think UCF's going to win this game. I really do. UCF is a very good football team, and just this game being on the road for North Carolina, I think that'll be enough to get UCF the win. Week 2 against Auburn, I think this will be a loss as well. So an 0-2 start, I just think Auburn is too good of a football team. I could definitely see them winning both these games, but I'm going to have them losing this game. I think they'll beat James Madison and Georgia Tech, both not great football teams. North Carolina is a great football team. They should be able to win. Week 5, Virginia. I was really considering this one, but I'm going to take North Carolina on the road. I think North Carolina is a better team than Virginia, even though Virginia is at home. I think North Carolina will get the win. 6, Virginia Tech. I originally actually had them losing this game, but I changed last minute that they're going to win this game. This game being at home, I think that's really going to push them over the edge in this one for North Carolina, and I think they should be able to win. So I 4-2 at this point in the season. I think they'll beat Duke on the road, and I think they'll beat Miami on the road. Miami is a losable game, but I think they'll beat them. So at this point in the year, I have them at 2 losses, but realistically, there's 5 games I could see them losing at this point. Week 10, UConn, easy win, I think. Week 11, I have them beating Pitt. I could see them losing, but just being at home, I think North Carolina will win. And then I think they'll beat Boston College and NC State to have a record of 10-2 this season. North Carolina, I think this probably will be enough to get them into the championship game. It's just going to depend how Virginia Tech does. You will see my Virginia Tech prediction in a few days. I'm not sure when I'll do it, but it will be soon. I really think it's between them, and I think this will probably, just the win against Virginia Tech will probably get them into the championship game. I don't think they'll win in the championship game, but honestly, Sam Howell, I could see him putting up some good numbers. If he put up 38 touchdowns to 7 interceptions as a freshman, he can have improvement. And I'm not going to do a way too early 2022 NFL mock draft. But if I did, Sam Howell would 100% be the first pick in the draft because he's a very talented player. He has the potential to be a good player in both college football, but also in the NFL one day. He looks very talented. I'm very excited to see how he plays. Very excited to see how North Carolina plays this season. So those are my thoughts on North Carolina. What are your guys' thoughts? Tell me in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe for more daily NFL and college football content. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video.